Matt Lafleur has his next quarterback, and potentially his next great one. Jordan Love has been on a tear during the Green Bay Packers 3-game winning streak as he's managed to accumulate over 800 yards and 8 touchdowns without throwing any interceptions. Today we're stepping back into the film room so that we can actually assess what's occurring on the football field. Now I understand it's Love's first full year as a starter. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. But right now, it ain't looking down. Let's roll the tape. This video wouldn't be done correctly at all if we didn't work from the ground up. To understand how Jordan Love is succeeding, we got to start with the man in Matt Lafleur. Now, as I freeze the video here, what do we notice about our tight end? He's in motion. And that's one of the bedrocks of Lafleur's West Coast system. Now, the goal of any motion is to either gain momentum in a given direction or serve as eye candy. And when you can run the football on top of this a la San Francisco, it gets dangerous for defenders. So with this in mind, I want us to focus on our boundary safety here. Notice that when our tight end goes on this rocket motion, we see our field safety go middle of the field and our boundary safety walking up to the box. Now, we can just tell by the manner in which this safety drives into the box that he's expecting to be a run fit. However, motion sometimes causes assignments to get lost along the defense, and aggressiveness can really hurt you in a situation like this. This is exactly what we see as we bring our inline tight end across the middle of the field. Our safety sees him late, and Jordan Love makes a big time play. Shout out Jordan Love for seeing this, but shout out Matt Lafleur for having the motion to get the defenders off of their spot. But not only has Matt Lafleur been able to keep the chains moving, he's also been effective in knowing when to dial up his shot play. This play here is the first play of the game versus the Detroit Lions. And the saying is definitely true about getting your playmakers involved early, because Christian Watson has not looked back since this play. We have a cover 3 shell by Detroit, and it's actually good coverage here by everyone. Love sees that as he makes his progression, but one thing is off, and it allows him to find a matchup which he really likes on this play. Our safety is leaning to the weak side of the formation, which leaves our outside receiver to the right in essentially a zone matchup which became a one-on-one. And Love attacks it. Knowing when to get your guy the football in certain situations, even if it's zone or man, if you like the matchup, go get it. Now, the ball dies a bit here in the air, but Love has just enough on it to still make the completion. And I mean, we see it here, but just to reiterate, this is a big time play. And I also think by Matt Lafleur, it's the perfect timing on when to let Love let it rip. Now, another interesting wrinkle which I've noticed that Lafleur has used in all 3 games during the win streak is what some may call double hooks, some may call deep curls, or whatever the Green Bay Packers like to call in their variation of the playbook. This has been a play that Lafleur loves on first and second downs against 2 high shells where he's anticipating cover 2. But he's also shown this route concept versus single high man coverage, and it's one of the many bread and butter plays that we see easily granting Love a chunk of yardage, and it pairs it with an easy read. If we got cover 2, now we're going to take our linebacker. If he's running the pole, he has to decide between both of our double hooks. One of them is going to be open. If we're going against single high man coverage, all we have to do is have Jordan Love place the ball perfectly. Now we got a Christian Watson or a Romeo Doubs wide open. So I think it's a pretty good concept, and that's why I want to include it in this video, just because it's something I've seen in all of these games, and it's worked in all of these games. But now that we've acknowledged Matt Lafleur, let's actually hone in on Love, because Matt Lafleur could realistically have his own video as well. However, plays just like this can't be coached. And shout out Romeo Doubs, because I don't know how you caught this still to this day. But the concept we have here is going to work as a reverse flood. Instead of sending number 1 vertical, Doubs goes vertical, Watson runs a corner, and number 1 runs into the flat. Now, just a fun fact as I was researching for this video, this pass had a 31% chance to be completed, and Green Bay still came down with it. The Chiefs actually do one heck of a job covering the route concept despite the outcome. The safety being able to run with the corner from Christian Watson, turn, and be in position for the vertical behind him, that's just good football. But one thing I'll say about Jordan Love is that he's extremely decisive, which can be both good and bad, trust me. But here, this is elite level ball placement to be able to layer this ball over the linebacker, but still leave the slightest amount of room for Doubs to have a catchable ball, although he's taking a big hit. Now, this is a very aggressive, but still a very, very good play. And let's move the sticks. Now, this play right here is probably one of my favorite throws of them all from Jordan Love. Lately, blitzing Jordan Love has just been asking for trouble. And again, we focus on the ball placement in a play like this, where you find your playmaker one-on-one, give him the best chance to come down with the pass, and that's exactly what Jordan Love does. Now right here, Christian Watson and Jordan Love were on the same exact page. If we get the corner out of phase, this is where he's playing through the receiver, not being able to play through the football. We're going back shoulder, and that's exactly how this plays out. And if I'm being honest, this is not even terrible coverage by the corner. It's just a beautifully placed ball, and Christian Watson has finally somehow unlocked being able to use every inch of his 6'5" frame. Now next play here, we have more excellence from both Love and Watson. Again, let's pay attention to our field safety here as Green Bay comes out in a 3-by-1 look. Now on this play, it's a little something different. I want you to watch the pocket presence of Love and the route by Watson. These are one of my favorite things that a quarterback can do, and I talked about it when talking about CJ Stroud. Stepping into the pocket, but instead of scrambling, having the ability to see down the football field, reset your feet, and then throw this touchdown on a different platform. Now on Watson's end, I like the physicality of the route. Releasing inside and getting behind this safety's line of vision is critical. But once he does that, he now crosses the face of the corner and runs scot-free across the end zone to catch the touchdown. At this point, we can see it. Jordan Love is cooking. But I think even outside of that, we're seeing a lot of different things from Jordan Love. The accuracy, the decision making, and just some pure raw arm talent. But here I want to showcase something a little different, and that's even more of Love's pocket presence. As he extends to get this football to Dontavian Wicks, we can see a guy who understands what the protection schemes are and how to evade the pressure within the pocket. The Chargers come out in a cover 2 look and initially covered the play well, but as Love feels the pressure off the edge, he gets off his platform, once again something I talked about, scrambles while looking downfield, and Kenneth Murray loses track of Dontavian Wicks. This is a big-time completion, and it's big-time play extension. I don't know if it's just me, but some of these players are looking eerily familiar to a former Green Bay guy. And I think with this play right here, still to this day, I'm trying to wrap my head around what actually happened and how did it even happen. Similar to the Dobbs catch, this is another pass that has like a 0.1% chance to convert. We have a 3-by-1 again by Green Bay, and it's man coverage by the Detroit Lions. Now, the reason I actually side with Love making this decision and actually wanting to make the decision, even with the tightness of the window, is because it's not a bad decision. Jaden Reed wins inside against Brian Branch. We got our safety all the way up top outside of the play, and our only slight concern is a linebacker who's buzzing underneath. So I think taking all of these things into consideration, how bad of a pass is this actually? I don't think it's a bad pass when we talk about all the things that happen on the play. What is Jordan Love seeing from the coverage? It looks like this at your first glance, but you start to dissect and break down this play a little bit. I think this is a good decision. It's a calculated decision, and it looks like one that actually turned out to be a big-time touchdown when you take an aggressive throw. Now, one extra thing I'll note just for Christian Watson, I'll say when running these routes to open up another primary read, rather than getting the football, he has to make those routes look the same as if he's getting the football. I think here he takes his time as if there isn't a route trying to work off of him. Other than that, I think it's a great pass by Love, as I aforementioned, with a little bit of luck sprinkled on top. But like I said, it ends in a touchdown. All is well. Now, this is that one play that I have in every film breakdown where I do more watching than talking, and I leave the analysis to you. As I also always say, if this doesn't get you to subscribe right here, I don't know what ever will. We got to approach this play like it's music. And you know when you have a good song? When you let the beat speak for itself. Right here, I'm going to let the play speak for itself. The coverage doesn't matter. The formation doesn't matter. All that matters is Jordan Love's arm talent to throw the football across his body and across the football field, even when this is what you tell quarterbacks to never do. Now, I'm going to challenge you in the comments. Drop down below, what do you think about this play? Because I know what I think. But I want to see where's your mind at to see Jordan Love make a play like this. It's just, when we talk about what can we quantify, how good is he playing right now, this is chopping it up. You say if you're playing so good, nothing can go wrong. This went right, and it's showing just that. In transitioning out of that, I think these are two final plays that I also want to show just Jordan Love against the blitz with a man coverage behind it. I say it right now, this is not a guy that you probably want to blitz, especially in third and long situations, second and obvious. But as I also aforementioned, right now, we see the pocket presence once again. We see the pocket mobility and the ability to throw under pressure throughout the entire video. And I really want to keep the goal clear. I understand this is Love's first full year as a starter. Just like I didn't say he was the worst when he struggled, I'm not going to crown him as the best because he's playing at such a high level. I think the common ground that we may all find is that the way that Love is playing right now indicates that he has what it takes with the Packers remaining scheduled to make a run in this thing. It's truly hard for me to think the Packers aren't poised for a run and that Love won't play good in these games based on the opponents left on that schedule. And the way Matt Lafleur has been looking, he won't let his quarterback down.